Alright guys, so we're starting the part of factoring, and this can be confusing for some kids, but this first slide is basically factoring these two polynomials using GCF, and you'll see that with any other strategy of factoring that we're going to see, finding the GCF first is what you need to do, if there is one. Okay, so GCF, we saw what that was. It's the greatest common factor. Basically, you're trying to find what is common between the terms that I gave you. Okay, so we have 25x squared y to the power 3 plus 15x y to the power 2. So you need to find what's common. You need to take out what's common between these two polynomials. So 25 and 15, you need to find the greatest common factor. If you're not good with that, please write the factors beside. So factors are the numbers that make up 25, say 1 and 25, you know, all that stuff. So just from prior knowledge, I know that 25 and 15, the greatest common factor would be 5, okay? So I take out 5, all right? And between x squared and x, the easiest way to do this is basically say, look at the one that has the smallest exponent. That is the one that's common. So this one has a secret exponent of 1. And so between x squared and x1, what they have in common is x to the power of 1. You can write the little one if you want, or if you don't, it's all good. And between y to the power of 3 and y to the power of 2, the smallest exponent is y to the power of 2. So you have taken out the GCF. Biggest mistake from the kids is that they finish there. This is the answer. No, this is the GCF. You did not factor. You need to make sure that whatever the question is, that your answer also equals that first part. This does not equal that at all, okay? And so once you found your GCF, you open up your bracket, and that's when what's left in the bracket is what is basically your multiplication at the end to get you this. So 5 times what will give me 25? 5. X times what will give me x to the power of 2? Another x. Y to the power of 2 times what will give me y to the power of 3? Y. So when I do this term times this term, it gives me that term. Plus, I need to make sure that when I multiply this term times this term, it gives me this one. So 5 times what will give me 15? 3. X times what will give me x? 1. I don't need to multiply anything else. There's no more x to be added. And y to the power of 2 times what will give me y to the power of 2? 1, which I don't have to write. Do you agree with me that this times that gives me this? Of course, 5xy squared times 3 gives me 15xy squared. So I'm all set. You can always check to make sure that your multiplication is all set. All right, and that it does give you the same answer that I started off with. And also you need to make sure that in your bracket that there's nothing common between the two terms that you have left, or the 3 terms you have left. All right, so 5 and 3, nothing common, and x, y, there's nothing common, so I'm all set and I'm done. Let's do another one. So the GCF between minus 8 and 2, I pick 2, all right, and that is the biggest one. Between x to the power of 4 and x to the power of 3, we have x to the power of 3. Between y to the power of 2 and y to the power of 2, y to the power of 2. Okay, now what's missing for me to go from 2 to minus 8 is minus 4. From x to the power of 3 to x to the power of 4, there's 1 x missing. And from y to the power of 2 times what will give me y to the power of 2? That would be 1, and I don't have to write my 1. 2 times what will give me 2? 1, which I don't have to write. X to the power of 3 times times what will give me x to the power of 3? 1. And then y to the power of 2 times what will give me y to the power of 2? 1. Now, love this example because a lot of kids forget to write 1 here. Do you see that in order for me to get my final answer as with what I started off with, when I multiply this term with this term, yeah, I got that one. But if I were to write nothing here, I don't get this term. So I need to say plus 1 so that when I multiply my coefficient here times my 1, I still get this answer. And so just recheck, all right? And they have nothing in common, so I'm all set and I factored using GCF.